Hello, everyone. I'm your DETPractice tutor, and today I'll guide you through this read and complete exercise from the Duolingo English test. This question type is designed to test your vocabulary, grammar knowledge, and ability to understand context. Let me walk you through both general strategies and specific examples from this passage about friendship struggles. Before we dive into the specific gaps, let me share some essential strategies for tackling read and complete questions. First and foremost, always read the entire passage before you start filling in any missing words. Don't jump right into the first gap you see. You need to understand the overall topic and tone of the passage. In this case, we're reading about friendship conflicts, so we should expect vocabulary related to relationships, emotions, and interpersonal struggles. Next, remember that you should use multiple clues together when solving these problems. Look for context clues that tell you about the meaning, grammar clues that show you what part of speech you need, letter patterns that reveal prefixes and suffixes, and collocations, which are words that naturally go together in English. It's also smart to work from the easiest gaps to the hardest ones. Fill in what you're most confident about first, then use those answers to help you figure out the harder ones. Sometimes one answer provides crucial context for understanding another. Before we begin, pause for 30 seconds and look at the question. Now let's analyze each incomplete word in detail, starting with the very first one. The passage begins with in, followed by an incomplete word starting with F, then another incomplete word starting with A. The answer is in fact. How do we know this? Well, in is a common phrase starter in English, and we have letter clues showing the pattern. In fact is an extremely common transition phrase in English. When we look at the context, the writer is making a strong statement about not understanding something, and this phrase functions to emphasize or introduce a contrasting or additional point. You might wonder why it couldn't be something like in full agreement or in fair assessment, but those don't fit the frustrated tone of the passage at all. Moving to the second gap, we have don't followed by an incomplete word. The answer is understand. After the word don't, we need a base verb, and the letter pattern perfectly matches understand. The context gives us a huge clue, too. The phrase I don't followed by how is a classic complaint structure in English. The speaker is confused and frustrated, so understand fits perfectly. Plus, don't understand how is a very natural collocation in English. The third incomplete word comes after how and starts with W with just one more letter. The answer is we. After how, in this context, we need a subject pronoun. Since we're talking about our friendship, the pronoun we is logical. There are very few one-letter words starting with W in English, really just we, so this one should be pretty straightforward. Now let's look at the fourth gap. After have, we see an incomplete word starting with M, and the pattern suggests managed. This is present perfect tense, which requires have plus a past participle. When we read how we have something it this far, the context suggests achievement despite difficulty. The vocabulary word managed means succeeded in doing something difficult, and managed it this far is a very natural expression. You might think made could work, but the letter pattern doesn't match. The fifth incomplete word appears after this and starts with F. The answer is far. The phrase this far is a fixed expression, meaning to this point. In context, they're discussing how they've maintained their friendship despite problems, and the idiomatic phrase made it this far or managed it this far is very common in English. For the sixth gap, after you, we have an incomplete word starting with A and P. The answer is appear. We need a verb that works with to before an infinitive. The meaning here is that the speaker is observing the friend's behavior.
Appear to think has a more formal tone than seem to think, which fits the overall tone of this passage about a serious friendship issue. The seventh incomplete word comes after to and starts with T and H. The answer is think. After to, we need a base verb form. The collocation appear to think that is very natural in English. The context shows we're introducing what the friend believes. There are very few verbs in English that start with those two letters, and think fits perfectly here. Moving to the eighth gap, we see important followed by an incomplete three-letter word starting with F, then us. The answer is for. In the structure important something us, we need a preposition. The collocation important for is the standard phrase in English. The structure goes, it's important for someone to do something. You might wonder about from, but important from us doesn't make grammatical sense in English. The ninth incomplete word appears after us and starts with T. The answer is to. In the phrase, for us, something enjoy, we require to as an infinitive marker. The structure for plus object plus to plus verb is a standard English pattern, and there really can't be anything else in this position grammatically. For the 10th gap, after enjoy, we have an incomplete word starting with A. The answer is all. The context tells us the friend thinks they should enjoy some portion of their leisure time together. The phrase all of means every bit of something. Grammatically, all of is followed by a noun phrase, in this case, our leisure time. The 11th incomplete word comes after of and starts with O. The answer is our. We need a possessive adjective before leisure. Since we've been talking about our friendship throughout the passage, our leisure is consistent. This possessive shows that the leisure time belongs to both friends. Finally, the last gap shows leisure followed by an incomplete word starting with T and I. The answer is time. The collocation leisure time is a fixed phrase in English. In context, we're discussing how they spend their time together, and leisure time is standard English vocabulary that you'll hear all the time. Remember, success in read and complete comes from combining context clues, grammar knowledge, and letter patterns. With practice, you'll get faster and more accurate at identifying these patterns. If you want more practice questions like this one, visit DETPractice.com, where you'll find hundreds of practice exercises to help you prepare for test day. Good luck with your DET preparation and keep practicing.